Isaac, do I still need to go over that one question then? With the use of
The no, I think I see it.
okay. I'll still go over the other one you asked then.
All right. What did you think of the end of the Clone Wars?
Oh, I loved it. It was both of those last two episodes were awesome. How they connected, really, the whole Mandalore, the Siege of Mandalore story arc was awesome because we finally saw something that we knew happened but didn't know how it happened. As well as they connected it to how they connected it to Revenge of the Sith. Was so good. How it got connected throughout the timeline of what of episode 3.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun watching it too.
Man, some of those lightsaber battles were, I mean, even though it was animated, it was awesome to watch. Wait a little longer like usual, but class today will mainly be beginning. I'm gonna go over just some information about the AP exam again and show you where you can find some stuff where that AP demo practice is and some general information. And then answer any questions you have about this week's assignments and the practice FRQs. So if you don't ask any questions, then I won't go over any. So hopefully you already at least looked at it. Although, as I said, both in Google Classroom and the Remind, under this week's assignment, there's both the BC mock exam and as one file, and then there's the Passwater practice FRQs, a different file. But the only thing you have to do this week for this week's grade is the mock exam. So if you're behind or you only want to do the minimum amount, then you only have to do the mock exam. You're taking the AP exam next week, which is almost everybody. You should at least look over and try to attempt the rest of the FRQs. And the keys I did post yesterday, as I said. Okay, well, it's 1:05, so let's go ahead and start talking about some stuff. Let's go, no, not here, here. Okay, this is the same slide I've showed many times. Oh, yesterday, I also showed, I posted some websites that would be very helpful. So myap.collegeboard.org, that's where you get to my AP and your AP classroom. That's where you'll go daily exam to take it. The exam demo at collegeboard.cb.org/AP demo. Some recommended and required documents is at that website. Checklist, I also posted the checklist, the PDF, but you can get it there as well. The walkthrough video, I posted that video, but that's another place to find it. 5 steps before the exam video. Highly recommend watching that video. This year is way different than normal. A lot of you may have taken the AP US History exam last year, or AP World History, or or AP Physics exam or something. You may have already taken an AP exam before this year, and if you have, that was completely different than how you were, at least the process of going to take the exam was different than this year will be, because last year you would have just gone to the library and they would have told you where to sit and things were out ready for you. All you had to do was, if you were allowed a calculator, bring your calculator, or no, they had the calculators, or you just had to bring a pencil, really. You didn't have to worry about the process of taking the exam, but this year you do. So please practice ahead of time as much as possible the process of taking it. So real quick, I'm going to show you that AP demo site. So if we go, no, not here. Why does it keep going there? That's over here. So if you go to just cb.org/AP demo, it takes you right to here. You can click on this and just go straight to the demo. But a few other things they have on this page is they have that walkthrough video right here. So if you haven't watched it yet, you can watch that. Or you can go to the interactive demo right there. It's a different link. Takes you to the same place. And it's on the day of the exam, you would first type in your AP ID. That's where it would have what it would have you do first. But for the practice demo, you just type in practice, and it will take you to the interactive demonstration. So on the day of the exam, you would first sign into My AP, and then just follow the steps at the right time. And our exam is next Tuesday at 1 p.m. and you need to start the process of logging in 30 minutes ahead of time. So at 12:30 next week, you need to get on to My AP and start that process. For the internet, don't use Internet Explorer. Really, you just should never use Internet Explorer because it sucks. Don't refresh your page or click the back button at all. That will cause an error and it will take you out of it, and then you're no longer in the AP exam, and that would suck. Practice the device that you're going to use, the browser that you're going to use. Practice ahead of time exactly how you're going to do it through the demo process. Yeah, the demo process doesn't show you any actual question, but it does give like some generic amount of time so you can practice and see how long that might be, that kind of thing. To click right here for your submitting your responses, that's going to take you to this page, and again, you can attach a text file, meaning a .txt, a .pdf, DOC or DOCX, something like that, PDFs. Yeah, if you're submitting a PDF, it would be under that option. PDFs would be under the text file option. So there's really, in my opinion, only two good ways for you to do it. One way, attach photos. If you were to attach a photo for the exam, you can have up to 5 photos per question submitted, meaning 10 pieces of paper. Because you would take one photo for your entire piece of paper that you use. So just have a good photo, take a good photo of your whole piece of paper from one side, only write on one side of the paper. Make sure the entire page is shot. You click submit after all of the pages are in. In portrait mode, if you're attaching a photo, it should either be in .png, .jpg, .jpeg. That's the photo formats. If you are handwriting it and either using a scanner or you're handwriting it like through your iPad or touchscreen computer, so it's still handwritten, but it ends up being saved as a PDF. PDFs get submitted through the text file option. Anything else? Oh, something else with this. If you are going to handwrite it on your own piece of paper and submit it with pictures, your AP ID, your initials, the page number, and the question should be on that page shown in the picture. And since you're allowed up to 5 pages with pictures for each question, ahead of time, before the exam starts, really do it Monday. have out 10 sheets of paper with your API ID, initials, and page and question numbers already written on those 10 sheets of paper. Be completely ready. Someone's not getting the library ready for you. You need to get your desk and testing area ready for yourself. So get those kind of things ready. I've mentioned it many times. I still highly recommend watching the AP Live YouTube videos. This is again the channel. This is the one that they did this morning, and I paused it here because this is a great help. But if the file that you're submitting is .png, JPEG, or JPEG, JPG or JPEG, that would be under the Attach Photos option. Now you would only do that if it's handwritten. You can have up to 5. It would be under the attached text file option if it's any one of these file types, which would include a PDF. So if you were to have a handwritten option, handwritten response, but save it as a PDF, you would then do it under the text file option. Although the text file option only accepts one file per question. It only accepts one file per question. So if you were to do it as a PDF handwritten, you'd have all of the pictures as just one PDF for that question. Again, if you haven't watched these videos yet, they are very helpful. They're going through lots of mock practice exam questions today and this week. See up in the corner that says Brian Passwater? That's the guy that I'm getting all of your questions from that I've been giving you to do. And he's making the questions. I've gotten a lot of the questions just straight from their YouTube page. Some of them, they came from right here. Right? So these guys know what they're doing. So that's a little bit how you'll take the exam. And then we'll have another class. I'll go over some questions that you ask today. We'll have another class on Friday. Go ahead and write that in. It'll be a Zoom lesson Friday, last Zoom lesson before the AP exam. If enough of you join, we might do a Kahoot. The only assignment for next week is the last circuit, just a 12-question circuit. Although it is already posted, so you can go ahead and start it. We'll have one session next week, one just for the sheer purpose of just asking you how it went. And then we'll have a Zoom session the last week of school, which is really just a goodbye party. And the only assignment for the last full week of school is there's a Google form. It's already posted, the assignments, just some questions, 4 calculus questions, and the rest are just questions that I was curious about. Okay, now let's go to answering some of your questions. Well, Isaac earlier asked about the mock exam BC, the first question, part A. This is the one you wanted, Isaac, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I'll go over this one first, then I'll see if anyone else has any other questions. So first, one key thing here that could cause some confusion, since they mentioned W here, doesn't seem like we have a W equation much places. So this table they gave us here, 0 is in time, and 0 could be helpful on your paper. I want it right. That's at 8 a.m. It starts at 8 a.m. They told us that here. And then they're supposed to be at work by 9 a.m., but this is just showing W represents how many people are at work. T is in time, starting at 8 a.m. W is how many people get there. And they have also defined W of T to be Y. They've defined W of T to be our function Y. Which means that if we were to take the derivative of this, W prime of T is dy dt. W prime of T is dy dt. And so in part A, they ask about W prime of 65, which would be W prime of 65 would be dy dt at time 65. And so we just need to figure out what the first derivative is at time 65. Well, they gave us the first derivative function, and at time 65, y is 60. So 1 over 15 times 60 times 1 minus 60 over 100. Okay, well, 60 times 1 over 15, that simplifies to 4. So 60 over 15 is 4. And then I can call this 100 over 100. So that's then 40 over 100, which is really just 0.4. No, let's do it like this. That's 4 times 40 over 100. Yeah. So those zeros will cancel. And that simplifies to 8 over 5. Which I'm pretty sure that's what they had too. Okay, then. We also want W double prime of 65. Leave it in, there we go. W double prime of 6 of, let's just do of t first. Well, that would be the second derivative of y with respect to time. So we'll take the derivative of the first derivative, and when we do that, before doing that, I'm gonna actually distribute this. That will make a little more sense. So if we distribute this, this is then 1 over 15y minus y squared over 1500. Yeah. Okay, so we're taking the derivative of that with respect to time. So that derivative 1/15 y is just 1/15 times dy dt minus 2 over 1500 y dy dt. Well, we could factor out the dy dt, so it's 1/15 minus 2 over 1500, that's 1 over 750. 1 over 750 y times dy dt. And then we specifically want w double prime of 65, which would be the second derivative of y with respect to time at time 65. Well, at time 65, we said earlier y was 60. So we'll plug 60 in for y. So we have 1/15 minus 1 over 750 times 60 and times dy dt. And I don't need to solve the whole dy dt thing again because we're at the same time. Dy dt at time 65, we found earlier, was 8/5. So 8/5 can go right there. Okay. And I don't remember what that is off the top of my head. But that should be right. Yeah, that's what they did. I mean, I did it slightly differently, but that's pretty much what they did. So we got negative 8 over 375. I guess I could have just put that in the calculator. You are allowed a calculator on the exam. Or I mean, really, on the AP exam, you could have stopped right there. That would have been perfectly fine, since you don't have to simplify. So now we are asked, what does W double prime of 65 in the context of the problem actually mean? And so, well, W prime is then the rate at which the people are showing up, because W in general is just the workers at the office building. So that W is the amount of workers in the building at a certain time. So then W prime of 65 is the rate of workers in the office per minute, rate of the amount of workers in the office per minute. And so W double prime would be the rate of workers in the office per minute. So rate of change of workers in office per minute. That's what this means. So the rate of change of the workers in the office per minute is negative 8 over 375. Any other questions from either the mock exam or the practice FRQs that you want me to go over?
I was doing the circuit on accident because it was the most recent thing you did, and I was like, okay, I'll just do that. And I got to a problem and I got stuck. It's the one that's the answer is 2/7.
The circuit. Oh, I don't even have that open because I wasn't expecting us to go over it today. Let me find it real quick. I can find it real quick. Circuits. Got a lot of circuits in here. Which one?
The
right here?
AB. It says AB, and then it has an extra problem. Like you commented an extra.
Oh yeah. This is the circuit.
Yeah.
But which problem on the circuit?
Oh, which problem? Oh, the one that has the answer 2/7.
Okay. Oh, I didn't share my screen. That's why you couldn't see what I was pointing at. There we go. Yes, this problem right here.
Yeah, that one.
Okay. Well, some definite integration. So we got integral from 0 to 2 of x times the square root of 4 minus x squared. Okay. Well, some of you in BC might want to immediately do integration by parts here. Don't. When we're integrating, you need to think about the order in which our year went. Try easier stuff first. Try, does a basic integration rule work? Does just doing area of something work? Then if none of the basic rules or area works, then use substitution. Try the stuff we learned before Christmas first. So would that work here? Well, if it would, let's see if use substitution would work. So then I could define what's inside our square root to be u. So u could be 4 minus x squared. And if that is u, then du is then negative 2 dx. Okay, well, we need to replace some other stuff then. X and dx needs to get replaced. So I'm just going to divide that by negative 2 and negative 1/2 in front. there, dividing by negative. Let's also replace our limits of integration. U of 0 is then 4, and U of 2 is 0. So now if we replace everything, I'm going to have that negative 1/2 out in front, negative 1/2 integral from, okay, the 0 is going to replace with 4, integral from 4 to, the 2 is going to replace with 0, integral from 4 to 0 of, okay, x dx is going to replace with a negative 1/2 du. Negative 1/2 is out here. I'll have du there. What's inside the square root is going to be replaced by u. I'm going to write it as u to the 1/2 power. Now we integrate. The antiderivative, I'm going to keep the negative 1/2 there. Antiderivative u to the 1/2 power goes up 1 to 3/2 multiplied by the reciprocal of the new power, which is 2/3. 2/3 u to the 3/2. Going from 4 to 0. Okay, those 2's can cancel. We'll just have negative 1/3 0 minus 4 to the 3/2. Okay, well, 4 to the 3/2, we can take the square root first and get 2, then cube it, and we get 8. Negative times negative is positive, so it's positive 8/3. U substitution. That'll probably be on the exam. I could see that. U substitution somewhere. Okay, let's go out of that. Any other questions on any of the assignments?
Back to the circuit. The one that has the answer 8/3. So the next one.
The next one in the circuit?
Yeah.
Okay. You want me to share the whole problem?
Yes, please.
Okay, so this is the next one. We're going to solve this differential equation. They want us to find the particular solution for dy dx equals x squared over y. They give us the initial condition that h of 0 is 1. And once we figure out what that particular solution is for h of x, they want us to then find h of 3. Okay, so first we will separate variables. It's a separable differential equation. We're going to separate our variables. Y is going to go to the left, dx goes to the right. So we're going to have y dy equals x squared dx. Then we take the integral. Integral of y dy is 1/2 y squared. Integral of x squared is x cubed over 3. We got our plus c. Don't forget plus c. Don't forget plus c. The rest of the problem is then wrong if you do forget plus c. Like, not joking. That's what it says on most scoring guidelines for problems like this. If you forget plus c, they don't even look at the rest of the problem. Don't forget plus c. Okay. Well, now the h of 0 is 1. I'm going to go ahead and plug that in now. So 0 getting plugged in for x, 0 plus c, 1 getting plugged in for y, and we get 1/2 over here. So c equals 1/2. Okay, that's cool. I'm going to rewrite this, and so we have 1/2 1 squared equals x cubed over 3 plus 1/2. Okay, let's multiply everything by 2. That'll become 2/3. That'll just become 1. Then we're going to do the square root. Okay, so then we have y equals 2/3 x cubed plus 1 square rooted. Now, sometimes people want to put plus minus here. It would only be plus minus if you don't know whether it really would be plus or minus. But since they gave us the initial condition, ooh, let me see. People are wanting in. Admit intimate loading. Okay, Qua and Logan that are just now here. Qua and Logan. Noel asked about some of the questions from the circuit. So that's what I'm doing right now. Just so you're aware, doing some questions from the circuit since Noel asked about that. Okay. So then we have, it's not plus or minus, because if we were to plug in our initial condition, if we plug in 0 for this, we get square root of 1, which based on the initial condition is supposed to be a positive 1. So we know it's positive. So I don't need to write the positive. I would need to write the negative, but it's not. Okay, so this is our h of x. That's our h of x, but we're not done. We're asked for h of 3. We're asked for h of 3. So now h of 3, we'll plug 3 in for x. We have 2/3 3 cubed plus 1. Okay, well, 3 cubed is 27. 27 divided by 3 is then 9. 9 times 2, 18. 18 plus 1, 19. So h of 3 is square root of 19. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna erase that now. Guess I don't need to yet. But okay, from all of you, any other questions on any of this week's assignments that you want me to go over? I thought Qual was here. You already leave? Any other questions you want me to go over? Well, we will have another class on Friday for you to ask any other questions you have from this week's assignments. I would suggest attempting some of the practice FRQs if you are taking the exam. And if you are taking the exam, you need to do the demo ahead of time. Make sure you are completely ready when it comes to Tuesday for your exams. I think AP Gov is on Monday, so if you're taking that, be ready for that. But be completely ready for how you will take the exam. Know how you will do it ahead of time. Practice the demo. Have your papers out, or if you're doing it on paper. Any other questions? Oh, Rifa. Today's practice FRQ from the YouTube AP Calc. Well, I don't know what question they did today. I didn't watch the rest of the video. But I'll go find it real quick. That's not what I want. Okay, today's question. Yeah, you can. I found it. Yeah, the Wednesday example, you said part F with the volume. Okay, so I'll open that up and we can go over it. So B, C, D, E, F. Probably doing that. R is versus around the horizontal line, y equals -2. Okay. So let's share screen. Okay, so from today's, this is the free response question they're going over today in that file. Again, this 25-minute question. Part of it's this. Reef asked about part F on the volume. Because we go to the second page, we got this here. Okay. So we're told we have this function h, derivatives of all orders. Portion of the graph h is shown along with the line tangent to h at x equals 0. Selected derivatives of h are given in this table. We have this R region is bounded by the graph of h and its tangent line, and the line x equals 1. Okay, so you're gonna make the third degree type polynomial in part E. Part F asks, write but do not value an integral expression that gives the volume of the solid when R is rotated about the horizontal line y equals -2. Y equals -2. Well, let's go back to this. I'll just so everyone's aware, I can post this as well. I'll put this on the calendar. I'll put this link on the calendar, just in case you don't know where I got this PDF. This is the response practice question they did in today's AP Live YouTube video. So I'll post this file on the calendar in case you want to do this response question as well. But we are rotating this region R around the line y equals -2, which y equals -2 will be somewhere way down here. Okay, and so that's going to rotate that way. That'll rotate around. That'll rotate around. It'll should be touching there. Yeah. Okay. So this will be washer method. This will be washer method, which the formula for washer method is the integral from a to b pi in front of capital R squared minus lowercase r squared dx. X is your variable if you're rotating around a horizontal line, and y would be the variable if you're rotating around a vertical line. Okay. Well, let's figure out what capital R would be. Capital R would be capital R is the distance from h, because it's the top function here, the further away piece. It would be the distance between h and, I called this horizontal line the -2. It's the distance between h and y equals -2. meaning it is h of x minus -2, which is then plus. And then lowercase r is the tangent line minus -2, the distance between this horizontal line and -2. I guess that circle I drew there is kind of wrong. But lowercase r is the shorter distance, so the distance between the tangent line and -2. So r equals the tangent line plus 2, because it would be minus -2. Okay, so that's what we're going to do for the capital R and lowercase r, and plugging it into this integral. And we're only told that we just have to set up the integral. We don't have to solve it. Now I'm going to erase some stuff real quick. Did they give us what h was? No, this is an f up here. Okay, well, since we're told we don't have to solve it, they would probably accept some function notation in here, I guess. I mean, they didn't give us any other way to do that. But we can go ahead and get the tangent line. We can get the tangent line. So we'll do that. That was an accident. Okay, so this tangent line that is also getting rotated, we can come up with its equation, and that would be equals the y value at that point is 3 plus the derivative plus the slope. Well, they didn't give it to us in the table because they didn't need to, because we can just calculate it here. Now this slope is a -2 slope, plus -2 times x minus the x value at the point. Well, the x value is 0. Okay, so that tangent line is, I'm going to rearrange it, -2x plus 3. Okay, so that's the tangent line. And so if we were to make our volume equation, the volume will equal pi times the integral from, well, we're integrating from left to right, starting at 0 until we get to 1, because that's that region. So from 0 to 1. Okay, capital R squared. Well, capital R will be h of x plus 2 squared, okay, minus lowercase r squared. We said earlier that lowercase r was the tangent line plus 2. And we have here, that's our tangent line. So our lowercase r is going to be -2x plus 5 squared dx. Unless I completely missed where they gave us h of x, I think that's all we can do here. They didn't give us the function. No, they didn't. I think, yeah, that's it. Does that help, Rifa? With the lack of information, yes, h of x would be helpful. They didn't give us any way for us to be able to fill that in. If we needed to find h prime of x or h double prime of x at those different points, so we could have based on the information given, but we don't know what h of x is to be able to put in that spot. And I feel like this definitely would be completely acceptable if they ask you to do the volume. They really just want to know if you know how to set up the integral. They would probably ask other stuff for having you actually do an integral. They wouldn't have you actually do this integral, most likely, especially since it could just be done in the calculator. Asking something like this and telling you not to evaluate, they're really just wanting to know, can you set up the volume washer method equation formula? And so it did require coming up with a tangent line too as well. So it does test multiple things. I mentioned to AB earlier today that it's highly likely any kind of question that could test multiple concepts at once is highly likely for this year's AP exam. Anything that could assess multiple concepts at once. For instance, like on the mock exam, I mean, that first question that we did go over. Let me share a question, share screen. On the mock exam, that first question we went over, it is going to assess product. I mean, because you can do product rule here, but chain rules for sure involved when you take its derivative. Implicit differentiation is involved, and just understanding rates in general. This one right here is both U substitution and improper integration. They're going to do stuff that involves multiple different concepts at once. Like the part F that is a secondary Taylor polynomial. It's going to cover a Taylor polynomial, but it's going to cover some other concepts in it as well. Taylor polynomial for sure going to be there. And this mock exam, just to show again, this says special thanks to T Record. It was made by Brian Passwater. Well, Brian Passwater and Tony Rickard, those are the guys teaching the AP Live review sessions. And then M. Corrali, that's Mark Corrali, he does the AB videos. Him, along with Verge Cornelius. Verge Cornelius, where we got every circuit I ever gave you. So these guys know what they're doing, and probably wouldn't be harmful to watch any of the AB videos if you wanted to as well. Oh, something I showed AB earlier. Something like this, highly likely. I'd guarantee you a integral function will be there somewhere. An integral function will be on the AP. I'd be shocked if it wasn't. If an integral function, if an area function was not on the AP exam, because any question they ask with the area function, integral from 2 to x, that is guaranteed to use the idea of the fundamental theorem of calculus. But you can also use other derivative stuff in there as well, especially like if they call g of x x squared plus that integral. Well, then power rule is going to be involved and some other stuff. But as well as like this part A of BC2, this is a L'Hopital problem, but it's a L'Hopital problem with many different derivatives involved. Chain rule is going to be involved. Fundamental theorem of calculus is going to be involved. Derivatives of exponential functions is going to be involved. So a lot of different concepts inside that. If you have a L'Hopital problem on this year's exam, I bet it's going to be something like this that also involves fundamental theorem of calculus. Any other questions that you want me to go over?
Not a question over the calculus stuff, but you were saying that my AP is where we're going to go on test day, like that's where the test is being held.
Yeah, you would log into my AP. Yeah.
Okay. And so from there, it'll redirect to something that looked like the demo or something like that.
Yes. And your e-ticket that you get this Sunday will probably be even more specific about where you need to go. So for each AP exam you have, if you have more than one, 2 days before the AP exam, you will get an e-ticket for that exam. And that e-ticket in an email will be very specific about what you need to do. It'll have your AP ID, and I mean, it may even have a link to exactly what you should click on to get to straight there. But based on what my understanding is, it's at my AP. Then you'll log in 30 minutes before the exam, and there will be an option to take your exam there at my AP. You'll log in with the information given in your e-ticket. Any other questions? Oh, one other thing I wanted to show y'all, just in case you haven't seen it. Well, that's not what I wanted to do. Next Friday, May 15th, that is when you can pick up your cap and gowns. Friday, May 15th, cap and gown pickup. That's next Friday. I just found this under the Lane Creek Twitter page. So they have these times, 10 to 11, your 8th grade and so forth. So you'll pick it up behind the gyms. That's where you'll pick up your cap and gown, behind the gyms, next Friday at those times. As well as, hopefully you're also aware of the other senior night, the senior night, what's it calling it, senior sunset next Thursday, the 14th, from 7 to 9. Next Thursday, senior sunset from 7 to 9. I'll be there for that. I'm not going to go up for the cap and gown pickup, but I'll go to the senior sunset celebration thing. Okay, well, have a good day. Please prepare. Have a good night's sleep before the actual exam. I guess I'll see you Friday. And if enough of you show up Friday, we can do a Kahoot on Friday, like we would have done if we were actually at school. Okay, well, have a good day. See you Friday. Bye.
Hi.